What's up, everybody? What's up? I haven't seen my people in forever. Haven't seen my people forever. What's up, YouTube? What's up, my people on Facebook? On Africa, wait, it's your girl. Miss G or Glow, depending on when you met me, but I'm still here, still in the grind, and still talking about traveling and moving to the continent. But y'all, what is up? I was minding my business. Hey, Daniel. I was minding my business, trying to sleep, but scrolling, and I shouldn't have been. Okay, be in my bed scrolling, and then I get so upset when I gotta wake up at 5 in the morning. And I done BS. But I saw prayers for what's up, Sienna, Yvette, Jeanette, Helen, Keisha. Yes. What the hell? What the helly? But I had to come to y'all. I apologize all the time, but I gotta be in a headspace where I can come and we can talk some real stuff and learn from it. I am on Crystal, Mabel, what's up? Listen, y'all, what the hell is going on here? I was minding my business in my bed, scrolling when I shouldn't have been. I should have been asleep because I got to be waking up crazy hours. And I see pray for Jamaica and Tanzania. And I'm like, Tanzania? What's going on in Tanzania? Like, what did I miss? What did I miss, Davian? What's up? What did I miss? What the hell is going on with the motherland? Please, people, jump in. My tribe that jumps in and gives me information, please jump in on the chat and share what you know. I went ahead and did some research um, on this Samia Suluhu Hassan. Why is, first of all, if people haven't heard from me when I've done, my summaries on all the countries, I break I break the continent down in fours, of course. So I always say that East Africa people are very chill, mild mannered. They don't like to rock the boat. And y'all miss me. I'm loving y'all. Hey, Connie. I know I haven't been on, but child, that's another story. Like, I don't know what the heck is going on with Africa, yo. I think it's a global conspiracy, and I hate to say conspiracy, but they get mad because we trying to bounce out of here, and it's just a whole ton of or is it in the air? I don't know what's going on with this world. I know the US is crazy, but it just seems like everybody's on some shit. So again, like I said, I was minding my business, scrolling in the middle of the night in the bed when I shouldn't have been. So I sit up and I go and look and I see an interview, and they're saying that this lady, Madam Samia Suluhu Hassan, has won the presidency, and they have an inauguration that no one's invited to. Is private, and the press and the government officials are saying that she won by 98%, and they were like, oh, absolutely not, because we don't like her. She came in as a default. I'm like, is this some like Trump stuff on 2.0 in other countries? They just putting folk in. Minkway, what's up? Miss y'all, miss y'all. Thank y'all for coming on. And please, please, please give me a little love. Y'all don't gotta give me money, even though I need some. Give me a little love. Hit like, hit. We still love Africa. And go over to YouTube. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. But anyway, I don't know what the heck is going on. And I'm seeing that not only like last year was Kenya, right? So the folks didn't like Ruto. Okay, he came in kind of as a default, and then wanted to turn around and start running stuff the way he wants to run it. Carla, thank you so much for coming. I know it's midday. I know I'm taking time away from some of y'all lunch, but I had to jump on. And I know I haven't been on, but I got to be in the right headspace to talk to y'all. So Kenya was last year, and Kenyan people are laid back. So to see, the riots, and not the riots, the protest, okay, because East Africa is a very mild mannered personality population. I always say East Africa, the folks are pretty chill. West Africa, folks are spicy. Like, don't press them because they will take it there with you. Okay, the Nigerians, Sierra Leone, Senegalese, don't take it there because they will take it there, right? Then South Africans, they on some other stuff, but they like a mix. Like, they seem like they chill, but don't go there with them. And then my lovely North Africans, they don't be claiming Africa. They're like, I'm Egyptian. Oh, so you're African? No, I'm Egyptian. I'm Moroccan. I always make them laugh. But anyway, so going back on a serious note, going back to Tanzania, Nathaniel, thank you so much. Carla, thank you so much for coming on. Tanzania, the most chill place I've ever visited. And almost, I don't want to say to the point where it's boring, but I wake up and hell done broke loose. Hell done broke loose. And they're saying it's like 700 people that have died. But I saw a interview, and the young lady, and I try to get my information and my resources from non-clickbait type of people. And she's saying as of yesterday, it was over 1,000. This is crazy. This is reminded me of just, the apartheid type of fighting, people getting killed, and because they are going against the government. So let me give y'all a little history of what has gone on. So the previous president was John Magufuli. He was loved, he was revered, he was respected in Tanzania. He didn't play with anyone, so he had specific rules, regulations, and everything. So right around COVID time, it was really interesting that people are keeping under wraps, allegedly. During COVID, African presidents that were against it was, I forgot how many African presidents like mysteriously passed away during COVID. And those particular African presidents were not going with the mainstream or the the wave of what the whole scare and everything that the Western media was putting out about COVID. And those African presidents mysteriously are no longer with us. And one of them was John Mafuli, right? So people were very upset about that. Now, his vice president was Madam Samia Suluhu Hassan. That is who the present, this whole firestorm is around. She, when he passed away, she, of course, as the vice president, defaulted in his position. So she started off saying, we're going to be, we're going to loosen up the tight reins for the people and have more of a liberal, more democratic outlook and the way we run government in Tanzania. So people were like, okay, cool, okay, girlfriend, okay. All of a sudden, it was a different party when she got comfortable, and things got worse. And it was things were intensified. There was more repression. There was a lot of pushbacks. There was just arbitrary arrests for anyone or any group that, went against what she promised she wouldn't do. So now it's like, what's wrong with these politicians that get in power because of the people, and then they show they monkeys, okay? And I'm really disappointed. Some of these women, and I don't want to put out the narrative because people will try to run with it. Oh, yeah, see, I told you those black women, them African women, them women, da 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 da. No. But like her, and then the lady over ADDI that was taking everyone to glory to Burkina Faso. She done showed her true colors. Like it's the bad girls club. Like women, like, and we automatically, since when we do see women in leadership, we think it will be a soft approach, and then some of these women are worse than the guys. And I'm all girl power, okay? Anybody that knows me I'm all girl power. But Novella, what's up? But what is going on with some of the leadership that definitely concerns me. And I know it's concerning a lot of the diaspora that want to make a plan B from the US or even the UK to go back to the motherland. Now, I was on the fence about coming on and talking about it because I don't want a negative narrative and have people back away and say, oh no, yep, I'm not going to Africa. I'm going to stay right here in this pot of EISS and enjoy it. No. And I know that the media likes to form a narrative. That's why, we are just learning about what the real continent of Africa is, because they were spouting out a narrative for so long. And when we were limited to global access, we believed it. So what I come to give y'all as much information as possible, but I want you, everyone part of Africa Awaits, because I don't do this on my personal channel because people just don't get it, won't get it, and that's fine. But the people that are strongly interested to just do your due diligence, be aware and know that every place is not popular. But a little history about this Samia Suluhu Hassan. Okay. She is now the new president. She got inaugurated yesterday, but it was very interesting. No one was invited. It was just she and the government officials, and they let the people know that she won, but everyone voted and everyone was protesting against her running because they saw that she was bad news. But the press, that's why you got to be careful, and you have to do your due diligence with all these places, because they will be peeing on you and tell you it's raining. So what they did, they said, "Oh no, she won by 98%. All of y'all love her." Does that ring a bell? Because the Joker we got in office, they say he won by a landslide too. But Kamala was like, "I'm too tired. Whatever, he can have it, because I'm not going through, having threats on me and my families." So, okay, if he have it, I told y'all what was going to happen, and it's happening. But it just seems like this is like growth spurts all over the world. And I just thought, who's coming on? LaQuessa, Chakorita, or the Johnsons. Lisa, what's up? Thank you so much for coming on, and definitely replay it. We just trying to figure out what the helly is going on with the continent of Africa. Everybody was chilling, and what really blows me away is Tanzania is one of the most chill places. And for this to happen, they stormed the airport. They stormed the airport. It's just been a hot behind mess. And where this is going, I'm not sure. Does anybody in the comments on Facebook, on YouTube, please go over to YouTube and show us sister some love and just hit the subscribe. I've been trying for years to get my subscription up. But anyway, but it just came out of nowhere, in our mind. But so did the uprising in Kenya last year. So I just think that with everything being so global, and a lot of most of the African countries have been in a position of being very repressed and an authoritative rule in a way, that the Gen Zs are different. Gen Zs are different. They're not going for it. And you're having these uprisings, and it's bad in our eyes, but it has to change. And the Gen Zs don't know how to change it. So they will sacrifice their life for what they feel they need to change. They are not happy with the status quo that's been going on. And quite honestly, we can feel it. We can understand it. The status quo in the US, we don't like it. We too busy. We got to go to work. And we've been through these marches and all this too many times. So, we at the point of, again, the 92%, whatever. We've done the marches. We've done that. But in the African countries, they're sick of being paid 50 cents an hour in 2025. Yeah, I said, yeah. And people that know that the average pay is right about 40. Well, I know in Kenya is about 48 cents an hour. 48 cents an hour. So people are sick of that. The young people are sick of that. The young people now have access to the global stage. So before, just like we didn't know, before they thought, oh, okay, I get paid $5 a day. I guess that's it. I'm chilling. Everybody gets paid $5 a day, in certain industries or whatever, you're domestic. I get paid $3 a day or $5 a day. So it's not a problem. But when they're saying, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to get paid this. And then it's pushed back, and then they see that the people that they're looking at are not doing for them. What do they really have to lose? And that's a real dangerous position for government to have. When, okay, these are stats, in 90% of the African countries, the highest percentage, the age demographic is more than 50% of the average age is what, 15 or whatsoever. The highest demographic of age 15, 16, 17. They don't have an old demographic that's going to die off. So the majority of uh, their population are young people, and it's a small sector of the older people doing the old rule. So they're like, oh, absolutely not. And now that Captain Traor has made a big shift with how he runs, they're seeing that, and they're seeing that, yes, you can run a country that's for the people. So these uprisings, these people are saying, oh no, why can't we be like Burkina Faso? That's why they want to take out Captain Trio so bad. But we definitely have to get it together. And let me see what else. All right. So just a little bit, I'm going on like a tangent, but Miss Samia, Madam Samia, was born in 1960. So she an old chick. Okay. She an old chick. Okay. She's 65. And she has worked in local government all her life. She was part of the World Food Program, and she also served in Zanzibar government. Now, Zanzibar is interesting. People that know. Zanzibar is really different. It's different than the rest of Tanzania, because Zanzibar is highly concentrated European, highly concentrated tourism. So Zanzibar, when you think of Tanzania and Zanzibar, you're like, ooh, I'm gonna move to Zanzibar, to White Beach, and this is that. It's a reason why it's so pretty. And when I was researching, because I was thinking about moving to Zanzibar, and I had built relationships with a lot of people that live in Zanzibar now. I just haven't I had a chance to reach out to them, but I know it's like blowing them away, because Zanzibar, Dar es Salaam is so chill. But she has worked in the Zanzibar government before. She was part of the ruling party. It's the CCS. She rose through that. So it's just interesting that she was positioned in Zanzibar. Okay. In Zanzibar. And then she rose up through the ruling party. Then she became vice president. Now, people really don't look at the vice president so much and how they got there. They're only like kind of looking at the president. The question is, how was she able, if she, um, how she was able to position herself to be the vice president and get in that position. Okay, so we got to see where, always follow the money or whatsoever. And she became the vice president under John Magufuli. John Magufuli passed away, during the whole COVID, and a lot of people were, had that as a questionable death, and because he was so against the whole rhetoric of the of COVID and what they wanted different countries to do, and he was like, "No, I'm not doing it." And it was real interesting. I traveled during like the COVID time, and I remember uh, distinctly going to Tanzania. And they made us get all these shots and everything like that, and you couldn't go unless you had this and all. So I just wanted to be away from the U.S. and travel through, go back and forth to Africa. So I broke down and got the COVID shots. But when I got to Tanzania, it was very interesting. I got to Tanzania and I had my mask and everything, and the people at the customs said, "Oh, you don't need that mask because we've only had um, one case of COVID. So you don't have to worry about that." When the rest of the world, people were dropping like flies. In Tanzania, at the airport, they said it was one case. So they was like, it's fine whatsoever. So his death has been questionable. And then there were other African um, presidents that also allegedly, um, you know, was unalive during that time. We don't know. Everybody is quiet about that. But yeah, so she started out after she took his place. Yes, we're gonna work all together. Yes, I got you. I got you. Then she turned on him. And folks did not appreciate that. So they were trying to get her out for this election. And basically, they played in everybody's face and let the people vote and all of that. It was a protest. We don't want you even to run. She still ran. And then they turned around and told everybody, yeah, she won by 98%. They're like, where's the proof? Oh, you mind your business. Or I'm hearing that some people are being jailed, being barred, and her opposition, people that were trying to run against her, all of a sudden ended up jailed, ended up barred from the electoral process for whatever reason. And then some people disappeared. So it's like foul on that level. Then the governance, she's doing different things that are, allegedly just not going to help the people. So at this point, I just want to jump on real quick. This is all I could give y'all. Put in the comments if y'all have any more info about this, but it hurts me to see this going on. And especially, it's almost like you invited guests, right? So we are dealing with our stuff here in the US, and we're trying to make preparations and plans to go to the motherland. And stuff is popping off here. I was told Cameroon, something's going on there. Like so many places, it's like all these hot fires all over the place. Is this like a setup? Is this a setup? Is this political sabotage? Why all of a sudden, now that the diaspora is deciding to say, you know what, let's go back home. You want to tell us go back to Africa? We're good. We will. But the crazy thing is, when we get to Africa, we still see you. And then, everybody tripping. We go to Africa, we still see you, and then you want to freaking buck like that dude that had the audacity, caucasity, short D gall. he was throwing a tantrum, and since those police were ignoring his behind, he wanted to spit and throw snot at them. Really? That's we got to tighten up, get it together, my black people. We got to get it together, because those people, the Europeans, wouldn't be anything if it wasn't for the continent of Africa, for all of the resources they took and built their beautiful countries. We got to remember that. They have money because of us. Don't be impressed with the riches that they have, because they wouldn't have had it if it wasn't for Africa. Always remember that. So never undermine yourself that, oh, well, the white, I got to act, I got to, nah, they wouldn't be anything if it wasn't. We has always set the blueprint. We are the one with the culture. They don't have the culture. The motherland is the motherland for a reason. It had all the resources for everyone to get, and then they turn around and try to use it against us or sell it back to us. We got to cut it out, right? But send prayers. Um, I don't know if this is a bad necessary, but some of these leaders, and I'm really concerned and disappointed that that is female leaders, because we're going to talk about Miss Thing with ADDI that was taking supposedly everyone from the U.S. to Burkina Faso for citizenship, and then she was just taking money. What black people, we barely got it. We barely got money. So black people out here that's trying to get over on us, we don't have the money in the first place. Go to the other folk. Go to the other folk. Stop putting us continuously down in a hole. We have to rise up and trust each other and do well for each other. Because at the end of the day, if we're not getting as far as we think trying to do it for ourselves. So anyway, y'all watch what is going on. Pray that all of this fighting and killing will stop. And Black power. Black power. So y'all have a great Tuesday. I don't know what to say. Except what the hell, what the helly? I was minding my business and I wake up to this. All right, y'all, you take care. Thank y'all so much for coming on. Thank you, my tribe on Facebook. Africa awaits. Y'all are great. And also my people on YouTube, definitely go visit 50 Shades of Glow, a 50 plus lifestyle for the 50 and fab. Give me a like and a share and subscribe. Y'all take care. All right. Bye.